Hello again, fiends. It's movie night. We're watching X-Ray or Hospital Massacre tonight for the loved to death live stream here at the Fiend Club, Patreon, buy me a coffee, wherever you're watching this. And I thought it might be fun if we made a cocktail for tonight and a quick little drinking game to go with it. So we're going to make something I'm calling a Bloody Valentine, which is probably a cocktail that already exists, but mostly the ingredients are red wine and bourbon. That's pretty much all you need. Some bitters if you want to get fancy. Grenadine for sure to help add that red color, and most importantly, you're going to need an orange and some lemon. I guess there's also all the bar stuff. You know, you can just mix this in a cup. I did that earlier to taste test it. That's probably why my face is so red right now. But we're going to get started with some simple syrup that I made. With a teaspoon of brown sugar and just a few dashes of hot water to melt it together. So I'm going to drop that in my mixing cup right now to get started. We're going to do a splash of Grenadine. You do not need a lot. Maybe like a teaspoon and a half at most. Just a little bit. Unless you like your cocktails really sweet, then go nuts. But you will have a hangover if you have a few of these. We're going to do an ounce and a half of red wine. This one's actually a bourbon barrel-aged red wine, so it's going to pair really well with this bourbon. And just so we don't get super-duper tipsy off one drink, we're going to do an ounce of bourbon instead of an ounce and a half to match it. I'm going to squeeze in a little bit of this lemon. Not a whole lot, just enough to give it some flavor. And then the orange is mostly for when you're putting this in the cup, but we're going to add just a little extra. So peel out just a small bit. Go ahead and drop that right in with some ice. You're basically done. Now you just gotta shake it and put it in a cup. There's really not much to this. Nice ice bucket, by the way, right? I don't remember where we got it, but it's great. Am I forgetting anything? The bitters. Let's drop a few of those in. You can usually get away with like 4 to 10 dashes. It's super alcoholic though. It's 50% alcohol. It's mostly referred to as like a bartender's salts. We have a whole bunch of them. We even have silly flavors, but we're just using like a regular aroma bitter. Give it one hell of a shake. Find a nice fun cup to put some other ice in. Fresh ice, you don't want the same ice. And if you are going to mix this just in like one cup, I'd recommend putting a splash of cold water in. Half of what makes a good cocktail is really cold water. And you lose that when you don't put it in a shaker. Drop that into this little cup right here. Love that color. Looks great. But to finish it off and to really help seal the deal on that, we're going to get a nice peel of orange. And we're going to spritz on top. So the first thing you're going to smell is that orange. And it really helps punch this cocktail up. I like rubbing it around the outside as well. And you just drop it in like that. That's your Bloody Valentine. It's kind of a mix between an old-fashioned and a sangria. And it's really delicious, by the way, as well. So be careful, because you probably don't want to have, a half a dozen of these. But they taste really good, so you might anyway. As far as the drinking game goes, we're watching a cheesy 80s slasher set on Valentine's Day. So tonight, we're going to take... I encourage you all to try making this cocktail, especially if you have a bottle of red wine laying around that you don't know what to do with, which is how this got invented. We're going to take a drink anytime somebody mentions Valentine's Day, anytime you see fake blood on screen, and what's one more, Kim? What can we do?
Nurse hat!
Anytime you see an old-timey nurse hat, take a drink. Enjoy your My Bloody Valentine, and we look forward to seeing you all at the live stream tonight. We cannot wait to see you, and until then... Stay creepy.
Stay creepy.